bow, bow now, bow, 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 bow. Hey friends, what's going on? It's James Chase, and it's Saturday, July 14th, and I'm having a good morning. How about you? It's all nice and rainy outside. How wonderful is the summer rain? So, I had an amazing Friday yesterday, and here's why. So, Friday morning I was reading, and I was all up in 1 Samuel 17, reading about David and Goliath, and that awesome epic battle. And the thing is, I know that story sounds so cliche, and you may have heard it, one too many times, or I don't know. You heard that story over and over again. But for me, when I read it yesterday, I don't know, it hit me because it was something different. Because I have been in this prayer, I've been in this moment where I'm trying to figure out what I want to do with the rest of my life, as far as careers go and whatnot, and it's been kind of difficult, and it got to a point where I didn't know, and it was just hard, and it sucked, and that feeling of not knowing what you're gonna do for the rest of your life, and me being 23 years old, it's not a good feeling. So, like I said, I'm all up in 1 Samuel 17, and I'm reading about David, and he's just this awesome guy, and you know how Goliath is calling out the Israelites, and he's this big 9-foot dude, and he has this ultra heavy armor, and he has this 15-pound sword, and he's just not a dude that you want to fight. He's not somebody that you want to find on a bad day. And but David, being the cool guy he is, he's like, I'll fight him. David's I'm 5'6", so yeah, that's a win, right? No, yeah. And so Saul, he's like, oh, you want to fight Goliath? All right, no one else wants to step up, so take my armor and and my weapon and go out and fight Goliath. And David's putting the armor on, and has his weapons, and he goes, he's like, I can't fight in this. This is unfamiliar to me. I don't know, how do you use this? What is this sword? What? I don't know. And instead he picks up a sling and some smooth stones, and it's so much more than, I don't know. And what hit me was that, I don't know, David grew up all his life, protecting the sheep and fighting off lions and bears and killing bears. I mean, he grew up a fighter. God molded him to being a fighter, but he molded him in his own way, and he put talents in David, and he grew those talents through protecting sheep. And when it comes to me and maybe you, God has put you in talents, whether it be before you even met Christ, or you've been with God all your life, God has put talents in you. And once you get to a point where you come to him, if you're not in Christ already, he's going to use those talents for his glory. And I think that's just awesome, because I'm looking at myself, and it's what talents has God put in me? I've only been, in this walk for 2 years now, and what? And I started thinking, what am I good at? What do I enjoy doing? And one of the things I did enjoy doing is this, talking and getting my thoughts out, and just, I don't know, letting people know what I think about God and the Bible. It's awesome. And I hope you get my point across, that God just, don't try to do anything you're unfamiliar with. for the glory of God. Don't try to learn all these new talents, you know, thinking that, you know, you're going to defeat whatever comes against you, because, I mean, you're just going to make it hard for yourself. Like, why don't you just use what's already been born in you, what's already been put in you all your life, and glorify God that way. And once you come, you know, once you face whatever is coming against you in the name of the Lord, like, you can't be stopped. So, I mean, it was just awesome, and there's so much more, but like, that's just like the gist of what that story gave to me yesterday. But that was the morning part. Like, then Friday night was awesome, because we have this thing in my district, like Maryland, DC, or whatever, where all the churches and, you know, come together and just worship Jesus, and it was awesome. And, you know, the person that was preaching, he was talking about Leonidas and how he fought Xerxes and his Persian army, and it was just like, it's just like, wow, I was reading a story about fighting, and then I go to church and I hear another story about fighting, and then he actually talked about David a little bit too. So I was like, yes, I don't know, I'm receiving something, and whatever it is, I receive it. It was awesome. So church was awesome, and then after service, I'm talking to a friend, and, you know, she goes to this college, like, abroad on, like, the other side of the country, and you know, and we were talking about it, and I was like, you know, I'm thinking about doing something in film or whatever, and she was like, oh, well, you know, my college has that, and like, and the thing about it is, like, it's a Christian college, it's cool. So I was like, what? And so I'm like, what? Like, Christian college, like, doing film? I don't know. And in the back of my mind, I'm like, what? Christian college doing film? Like, yeah, me and my mind and my mouth were doing the same thing. So yeah, that was my Friday. I didn't wear this. Anyway, I just got off of work, actually. Feeling pretty good about things. How are you doing? Good? Alright, good. But yeah, that was my Friday. It's Saturday. I'm gonna go in, have some breakfast, and then get some sleepies before I go back to work. So, remember, always have a smile on your face, and God is wonderful. Bye-bye.